In 1901, divers searching a shipwreck off the Greek coast pulled up a corroded bronze mechanism that should not exist, not in that form, not with that level of precision, and definitely not 2,000 years before anyone supposedly knew how to build it. The Antikythera mechanism is essentially an ancient analog computer. Inside a wooden case no larger than a shoebox sat a complex assembly of at least 30 interlocking bronze gears, each carved with teeth about a millimetre long. The precision required to create those gears wouldn't appear again in Europe until the 14th century. Yet this device was built around 100 BCE. What did it do? It predicted astronomical positions decades in advance, solar eclipses, lunar cycles, the timing of the Olympic Games. You could turn a crank on the side, and the mechanism would calculate where planets would be in the sky months or years into the future. The ancient Greeks weren't supposed to have this capability. They definitely weren't supposed to understand epicyclic gearing, where gears mount on other gears to track complex celestial movements. When researchers finally reconstructed how it worked in the 1970s using X-ray imaging, they found it was more sophisticated than any known device for the next 1,000 years. Some historians called it an anomaly, a one-time achievement that died with its creator. But here's what troubles experts. This wasn't a prototype. The craftsmanship is too refined, too confident. Whoever built it had done this before, probably many times, which means there were likely others, perhaps dozens of these devices, now lost to time. So where did the knowledge come from? And, more importantly, where did it go? The Antikythera mechanism isn't alone in defying historical timelines. Scattered across the globe are artifacts that challenge everything we think we know about ancient capabilities, objects that shouldn't exist in their time period, technologies that appear then vanish without explanation. What you're about to see will make you question whether we've been told the complete story. In 1936, workers digging near Baghdad uncovered clay jars that looked ordinary until someone noticed the copper tubes and iron rods sealed inside with bitumen. Ancient batteries, 2,000 years old. A German engineer tested replicas in 1948, filled them with vinegar, and measured nearly 2 volts of electricity. Barely enough power to light a modern LED, but the principle was there. Electrochemistry in the Parthian Empire. The problem? There's no evidence anyone used them for anything electrical. No electroplated objects exist from that period. No wires, no circuits, no applications that would justify their existence. Some researchers suggest they held magical scrolls for protection spells. But that doesn't explain the engineering. Someone understood that combining specific metals with an acidic solution generates current. That's not accidental knowledge, that's experimental science. Then there's the Phaistos disc, discovered in Crete in 1908. A fired clay disc covered in stamped symbols, 45 unique characters arranged in spirals. What makes it revolutionary? Those symbols weren't carved. They were pressed into soft clay using individual stamps before firing. Movable type printing. In the Bronze Age, 1,500 years before Gutenberg, the text remains undeciphered. We don't know what it says, what language it represents, or why this printing method appears, once then vanishes from history completely. No other examples exist. It's as if someone invented the printing press, used it for one document, then the technology disappeared for millennia. The pattern repeats endlessly. Advanced knowledge surfaces briefly, then evaporates. Precision gearing in ancient Greece, electrical principles in Mesopotamia, printing technology in Minoan Crete. Each one isolated, each one inexplicable within its historical context. These aren't primitive attempts at technology. They're sophisticated applications of principles that shouldn't be understood yet, which forces an uncomfortable question. What if ancient civilizations knew far more than we credit them with? What if the story we've been taught about human progress isn't wrong, just incomplete? These artifacts don't fit the narrative we've built about human history. They suggest knowledge that appeared, flourished, then vanished without trace. The real question isn't just what ancient peoples knew, it's what else have we forgotten? What other capabilities existed that left no record except these impossible objects scattered across time?